Oh my God, your poor dad.
Is everyone here and awake?
Barely.
And are we gonna work?
We better work, bitch.
You better work, bitch. And I don't know how it gets better than this. Another new episode of Your Poor Dad. Take it away.
That should be the new intro.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, no, just do the regular version.
No, do like the actual one.
Yeah, don't ruin what she just
guys,
did.
welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth branch sister.
That is the most engaged I've ever seen you in an intro in my life.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. I'm taking my job seriously today.
I kind of wanted to sound like a news anchor.
You sounded like a news anchor.
And you did.
Oh, and this is the news.
I think that now that she's on summer break, she's like really going to dive in headfirst to this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's going to dive in headfirst fearless into this podcast.
Hell yeah. Wait, did you see the recent, what's that for?
It's just to see how long our podcast is, but thank you for breaking the fourth wall here.
Sorry.
A little behind the scenes, guys.
If you guys, if there's anything we need to tell you about Paige, is like there will never be any surprises on this podcast because she cannot keep a secret to save her life. We call her the mouth of the South. You truly are.
I was hanging out with my new friend Randy, and I was explaining to him. I said, if there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that I cannot keep a secret and I can't lie because they're both basically the same. And some may call me the mouth of the South.
Yeah. I wonder if that's like a middle child thing. I feel like you have tabs on every single person in this family at all times, and you have to get down to the bottom of any sort of drama. And it's not even like you're the most dramatic, because I think I'm pretty much the most dramatic. Like I love the drama, but like you like have to know.
I just need to know the details. I just need to know the why.
Well, a lot of my other friends that are middle child, like we called my friend Caitlin Radishonsky, shout out. We called her Lois Lane in college because she like literally was the news anchor. She had to know every single piece of gossip, and like she's the middle of three girls too. Everyone was running their shit through her, and it all went to the mom.
Well, and I do the same
and
thing.
That's you.
I think she just doesn't want any divide, like if she's the bridge, she's the middle person, so if there's any like secrets, if there's anything, it's like this is gonna create a divide.
It's so instinctual. Like you have to know everything. Like mom's like, oh, how was this thing that you did that you didn't tell me about? And I'm like, how the fuck do you know about that?
Yeah,
she's like,
not
Paige?
only does she need to know everything, she needs to know that everyone else knows every single thing about everything.
Yeah, like
else.
you're telling mom, you're telling dad, you're telling
because why do we have secrets?
It's not like secrets. It's just like I don't need to run everything, but I'm just like more private, I think.
Yeah, and it could not be me.
No, and it's like, and it could not be either of us because you prevent it.
Yeah, Kate is always like, oh, you know the thing that you don't really want to talk about yet? I told mom, so she's probably gonna ask you about it. It's like, okay.
And I'm like, Mom, did you hear that this happened about Baily? And she's like, yeah, I already knew that.
Yeah, Paige told me 3 days ago.
Yeah. Your dogs smell like rotten ass.
They've been having like sulfur farts.
It literally smells like they're in a sulfur.
Someone
like
tooted.
I don't smell like that.
Another reason to not get Frenchies.
I thought that it was.
Why would you? Holy cow! It just hit me over here.
I know.
Jesus. It's getting worse.
If this was a cartoon, there would be like a big green cloud of smoke, and it'd be traveling,
creeping up. Wow.
Why would you think that that's me? Like I'm not an animal, and I'm not inhumane.
Because I smelled it before you said anything, and I was like, oh, she doesn't want to draw attention to it on the episode.
You're like good at keeping secrets now. Oh, we're not going to talk about this one on the podcast.
Yeah.
The timer, that's one thing.
Okay, well, anyways, moving on from your dog's rotten ass.
I have something to say.
Okay. I'm nervous.
Remember Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay, remember Colorado's friend?
Yes. Okay, wait, what's going on?
Okay,
So funny.
So I don't think I'd talked about this, but Jade's, Colorado fling.
Fling. For like a couple years long thing.
Years long, like I was obsessed with him, but
whenever... Yeah, I didn't know what to say. But anyways, whenever you guys had your thing going on, you guys thought it would be a good idea for me to try to talk to one of his friends.
Right.
And
who you never met.
Who I never met. I'm pretty sure we FaceTimed maybe twice. Mm-hmm. We would have some text messages back and forth. I sent him some cookies. But When do you think that was? How many years ago?
That was probably 2021, like the beginning of 2021.
Like, so two years ago. So he reached out to me. I'm going to have to like read him because honestly.
So let's preface, they have never met.
Never.
And she was actually like interested. Okay, let's see where this is going. And then out of nowhere, he just kind of like stopped talking.
Ghost.
And it's
Which
fine.
is fine.
You never met him. So it's like no hard feelings.
Yeah. So, and occasionally he'll respond to my stories, but it's usually something podcast related. It's usually something funny, right? So it's not weird to be like, haha, this is funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had asked, oh, how's life been going lately? And I said, life's been pretty good. How about for you? And he said, oh, no complaints. So I'm going to just cut to it. Would you ever want to meet up in person? Because I might have some time off this month.
That is such a weird way to ask somebody to hang out that you've never met. I'm going to cut to the chase.
No, but that we haven't even been talking. Like, at least with the whole BB situation, like, we were intentionally talking. We, like, knew we wanted to, like, meet up with...
This is what I'm looking for. This is what you were looking for.
And this is, like, I do not know this man. I have not talked to this man in, like, 2 years.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to see...
He's like, I have time off.
Yeah.
Should I come? And so then I was really thinking about what I should say because I was trying to be thoughtful and not just a bitch.
Right, for once.
So then I forgot to respond altogether. A week goes by and he says, Paige. He double DMs. So then I said, sorry, love the boldness, but that ship has sailed.
Oh my God.
What else do you say though? Like,
What else? Because I didn't want to leave the door open.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to be like, haha, no.
Well, and to be fair, like really anything you would say, a guy would call you a bitch for saying it.
Well, and
Right.
it's like
shutting
truly
them down.
that ship has sailed
And you
2
even
years
give him
ago.
Well, and it's like, what do you owe this person who clearly didn't treat you with any respect, that they just kind of like stopped talking to you and didn't say like a reason why, and they didn't get back into your life with any sort of intention, being like, hey, I know it's been a while, but I've been thinking about you and I have some time
Exactly.
coming up. Like, where's the fucking like courtesy? Where's the chivalry?
Yeah.
Chivalry is clearly dead.
how about lie and say, hey, I'm going to be going to Austin
Yeah.
within the next month and I have some flexibility. Would you be available? Like, lie, you know?
There's
I
so
could go
many-
this
that
weekend or
was
that
also,
weekend.
Like, again, even with the whole BB thing, he's like, I want to come to Austin with the intention to see you. However, I have all these other things. If it doesn't go well, it could, like, there was intention, there was a conversation, and he's just like, I have some time off. You want to meet in person?
Yeah, like why wouldn't he be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, strike up a conversation again and say, hey, I have some time off.
And it's like, maybe just ask, like, even a little bit if I'm interested in rekindling any kind of flame.
Well, he had to cut to the chase.
Yeah, he cut to the chase.
We gotta cut to the
Anyways.
chase. I hate this small talk. You literally had no small talk.
Yeah, zero small talk. But I'm gonna. Anyways, so as soon as I send that text, which again, I thought about it. You know, it probably took me
A week?
It doesn't give me the time. Oh, it doesn't tell me what time I sent it. But as soon as I hit send, I was like, "Whoo!" He sends, "Daggone, that's a bummer." Any reason why? Just curious.
What do you mean? Did you respond?
I no, I don't think it deserves a.
I think you should.
don't
I
think it
feel like you
requires
need
a
to like.
response.
I think you need to tell him like so he knows. Like you literally came out of nowhere.
I don't know you.
I don't know you. You don't.
I also don't think this is going to be like a learning moment for him. So it's kind of going to be a waste of time.
True.
You know, it's not like he is Colorado.
Maybe that I'm just like I want you to kind of like do what
Say
I
it for
want
you.
to do
Yeah.
to Colorado, and like this is how you treat people, and this is not how you treat people, which is what you're doing. Like Colorado, just to remind the sisters, out of nowhere, are you ever going to talk to me again? Do you think you'll ever talk to me again? No.
It's like, what?
What do you mean? Like you haven't even tried to talk to me. It's not like he's like trying to contact me and then he's like,
And you're actively ignoring.
Yeah, he's just
I
like-
mean, it's like you are now, but it's not like
Yeah, like,
that
it's like-
had been happening.
do you think you'll ever talk to me again?
It's like, are you fucking delusional?
Like I've literally never been happier in my life. If I started talking to you, my life would blow up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And literally no interest. Like that's not even on the table at all. But
Yeah.
It's just-
I just thought that was so weird.
that's so fucking weird. Men are
bizarre.
I don't know. I think it's maybe app culture that has created this way that they interact with women where it's like, all right, I guess I'll do you a favor and reach out to you. There's always another option on the horizon for them. So I feel like they don't go all in with people because it scares them.
Yeah, well, and then on the flip side, with this Randy guy, we went to the Austin FC game yesterday, but
he was there.
Well, it got rained out, and the plan was for me to go meet up with him afterwards. And
was that when you were drunk as a skunk?
I got drunk.
She was on the way.
I was on my way. Anyways, I was like, it's raining, blah blah blah. He was like, well, what's your plan? Bailey was leaving, like we were all just like planning on leaving, and he's like, I'll come pick you up, because I said,
oh my God,
I was like,
Akeem.
oh, where should I get my Uber? And he's like, oh no, I'll just come pick you up. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he was like, I want to do that. And so he picks me up from the game, and then we like hung out with his friends. I was like, that's so nice.
He picked me right up.
I love that. So is that who, can you guys give me a rundown? Because we were supposed to record this at 2:30, which would have been great for me because I could have time to edit, go to bed.
You want to know what else would have been
time.
great?
What?
Is if we did what we've been doing the past 2 weeks and did the Vanderpump Rules thing on Friday.
Wednesday.
And then, on Wednesday. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't know we were doing that, bitch. What do you mean?
Bitch, you didn't follow up with me. Like, what time are you coming over?
I just like thought it was like an unspoken thing we've done the past 2 weeks.
We'll do it this week.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well, it's the last one.
finale.
Can we move
They're
forward?
gonna tell us that Rachel is pregnant.
She's not pregnant.
She must be.
Okay, so what happened last night to make you guys so hungover? Because both of you are hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone didn't notice, truly so hungover. I mean, I think the answer is alcohol.
Wait, can we talk about like I feel like you guys have a specific hangover vibe that is so foreign to me, but it's so you guys.
What is it?
I feel like walk us through like a typical, like an average hangover day.
No, because I feel like I'm being judged. What are you trying to know? What are you getting at?
Okay, so can I just tell you my impression of your guys' hangover day?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, Paige wakes up at 7 a.m. because her dogs wake her up, and she is like in like a tank top and booty shorts.
Yes.
And she walks into the
her hair,
living room. The hair is
vertical. It's Dolly Parton wishes.
It's a rat nest. Then she goes, opens the door, lets the dog out, and then she sets up camp on the couch where she will live for the next 12 hours of her life.
At least.
And then Bailey will wake up much later. Aunt B wakes up, and
First of all, I wish as if these dogs would ever let us have a door closed.
Yeah, as if they would ever let Aunt B sleep in.
It's either Roman scratching or Tiger just barking, and then Tiger's bitch ass can't even jump on my bed, so I have to get up and pick him up because he's too little to get up there.
Okay, so then you guys come into the living room, and then you like set up camp on your couch, and you're watching something like Seventh Heaven adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is like
or Survivor.
Something that was created around the years of 1999 to 2006.
A simpler time.
And you guys order from like a very fucking random restaurant that like no like normal trendy people in Austin order from. You guys are single-handedly keeping like TGI Fridays, Applebee's, Sonic.
Wrong.
Okay, first of all, don't fuck with Sonic.
Or BJ's.
BJ's.
BJ's is your number one.
BJ's is Paige's number one for sure.
I'm Paige Brandt and I like BJ's.
Yes, I'm gonna clip that for social media. Then you guys are drinking like full diesel Coca-Colas, like not even Diet Coke, not even like, it's like in a can, and you have them on deck, stocked.
Yeah. Sodies.
Yeah, and then that's where you just like fester and marinate
for a while.
Yeah, that's your hangover vibe.
Today was mostly like that. We got McDonald's. And then we like full on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory like grandparents like on the couch because we only had one blanket out. So Paige was sitting one way and I was sitting the other way, and I was like, uh-oh.
You guys are Grey Gardens.
Well,
do you know what Grey Gardens is?
Yes. Okay, but the thing is,
I'm worried.
What do you expect? I don't know.
Anyways,
the thing about last night is we started drinking a little bit before the game. And then we go to the game, and then we're drinking at the game, and then we just kind of kept drinking because it was so annoying. Because when they started to delay the game due to rain, and it wasn't even
the game due to the rain.
The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plains,
but it wasn't even raining yet. And then all of a sudden
there was lightning.
I didn't see it, but then all of a sudden, like when it hit, and it was so weird because we were under the roof, and so I'm like, this is kind of fun.
And then the wind started picking up, and it was so creepy because I left before them, and they were playing the music so loud, and I realized they were playing the music loud so people couldn't hear the thunder. So you could see the lightning, but you couldn't hear the thunder because the music was playing, and it's like, everybody, this is fine. Let's play some Kiss. We will rock you, and it's like,
it was just weird.
This is scary.
That is weird.
But then whenever when Randy picked me up and we went to a bar where his friends were.
And that's when I FaceTimed you?
That's when you FaceTimed me. And here's the thing about me. Whenever I'm around a new group of people, I try to be, quiet and subtle, unless someone's going to talk about something that interests me, like Taylor Swift, like your poor dad.
Two words that are never used to describe Paige: quiet and subtle. Subtlety is not your forte.
Things that interest me: Taylor Swift, my own podcast,
my dogs.
Yeah, I actually did show pictures
of my dogs.
Anyways, yeah. So then the drinks just kept flowing, and then we went to his friend's house, and the drinks continued to flow, and that's where the hangover happens.
We love that.
You know what my mistake was?
What?
We ordered margaritas at the bar, and it was.
I can't believe Paige ordered a margarita.
Well, I only did because I need to actually put it all together. One margarita, I'ma open my legs. Two margaritas. Yeah.
We did that, and then it was a very bad margarita. So when I went to the bar to get Paige a beer, I said, could I just get like another shot so I could put it in here? The guy very nicely just like topped it off with like another little shot, didn't charge me. It made it better because it was like weirdly like salty lime juice. Like it just tasted like I was drinking like lemon brine.
A shot of tequila?
No, the margarita before. But then after the shot, I was like, let's fucking go to this game.
Let's fucking go.
I'm listo. But
Listos vere.
Well, that sounds like a fun little Saturday for you girlies.
Yeah, so what about you?
So I went to the lake with shout out to Dr. Rhiannon Presley, the premier dentist of Dallas-Fort Worth, and the Texas Hammer,
Jim Adler.
Zach Presley Esquire. We call him
the Texas Hammer.
We call him the Texas Hammer.
That's really funny.
But
wait,
it's like, he'll fight for you.
Wait, can I say something? This is inappropriate, but you saying the Texas Hammer made me, I was like, Hammer, I thought of hog.
And then you thought of Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, did you know that William Dafoe has a really big penis? And Bailey said that. Bailey said, she said he's got hog. And I said, what does that mean? And she goes,
Ew, what? You guys literally are Grey Gardens.
Okay, but also his penis is so big in a movie like that he was gonna do full frontal. They had to tuck him and put on a prosthetic penis to like be less distracting.
That is gross.
That's wild. What a random fact.
That is random.
Hammer and hogs, those are different.
Okay. Anyways, so I went to my best friend Rhiannon has a lake house, which like I'm so proud of my friends for having vacation homes.
Yeah.
Like we're at the stage of life where they own a home and a vacation home. And it was like the cutest lake house and like the most beautiful lake. It was such
What lake?
Cedar Creek. Not to be too, I don't know if we can say that, but like it's a big fucking lake.
Yeah,
There's
I was
like
gonna
300
say,
miles of shoreline.
Wow, good fact.
So I know. So me and Mr. Roberts went up there, and it was so fucking peaceful. And so Zach really wanted a shout out on the podcast because they're pregnant with their third daughter. He's literally your poor dad 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So we just to get. Do you want to tell them what just happened?
Yeah, Paige.
Tell them what you did.
Tell them what you did. Cool.
Me? You're the one that pressed the record button.
Yeah, but
Tell
you
them
don't
what
want
you
to
did.
have anything. You don't want to have any secrets here. So tell them.
Tell them what you
Be
did.
honest with them.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. Whenever Jade hit the record button, she did not look to see how much battery life was left in the recorder. So
Paige loves putting the blame on everyone else. Like she cannot just be like, hey, like we need to check the batteries from now on. She has to be like, Jade didn't do that. So
Well,
that is
blame
something.
me.
toxic in our sisterhood. So let's move on. Okay, so what I was talking about was
Zach.
Okay, so Zach is my best friend Rhiannon's husband. He is going to be Your Poor Dad 2.0. So he was asking me like tips, and I was like, I can't know what tips to give you because all your daughters are going to be so different.
Well, and it just like seems like he's already doing a really good job.
I know. So it's like you're going to do great.
So just keep
on
keeping on.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up, Zach.
But it was just one of those like weekends that was just really good for your soul. You just are around really good people. Mr. Roberts was like, I mean, it was great that I have like these 2 really cool friends because I feel like that like kind of impressed Mr. Roberts. He's like, I love your friends. He's like, it'd be so cool to have a lake house one day. They have all these pictures of like them and their kids at the lake, and they're like, he was like, it'd be so fun to have a lake house. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like such a like nice little wholesome weekend.
Were the kids there?
No, they weren't there. But they took us out on their boat. We went all around the lake. We like laid in the lake on this big like lily pad thing, and it was so warm. It was perfect. And then we had lunch at the marina, which was just this little like dive bar with like fried chicken and shit. Your dogs.
I know. I'm sorry.
I know. And so it was just like a really fun little weekend.
That's so nice.
That is really nice. I did not know that you were
doing that.
I didn't know that was on your schedule.
I was going to ask Bailey to watch Hank, but you guys are always like, Bailey, you always ask Bailey to watch Hank. And then I was like, you know what?
You want to know who's going to watch Tiger and Roman?
Who?
Our poor mom.
Really? When?
Not this coming, maybe the 3.
Why wouldn't you ask me to watch?
Because it's hard with Hank too.
You guys I'm not scared.
You are scared of Tiger.
But I'm not scared of watching all 3 dogs.
Well, you can watch them.
Anyways, let's get into like a little bit of a pop culture update as we do.
Okay.
Okay, we have to do our weekly Taylor Swift update, even though this is Sunday, so we don't really know what she's going to do tonight.
Yeah.
But she was at our favorite place in the whole world that we've never been to, Soldier Field.
Soldier Field.
But as big Soldier Field girlies and advocates and Bears girlies, this is a huge weekend for us. And I have to say, night 1 compared to night 2, I don't know if she knows that she's doing it.
She knows, but it's also not her fault that like some of her songs just like have such a stronger pull than other songs.
Yeah, but that's why you have to pair them.
I know, but she's pairing them like she's doing 2 spare songs together with 2 huge songs.
Say what the songs are.
Okay, so night 1, let me pull it up. Man, TS Tour Tips. That's the one.
TS Tour Tips has everything.
I know, but they like post so much. Like I had to scroll down so far to get to the. Okay, so night 1 was "I Wish You Would" and "The Lakes." I wish you would. Is that the song? How's it go?
It's like 2 a.m. in your car, a bag's not packed, and I wish you would come back. I should never look at the phone like I did. I wish you knew that.
Is that 1989?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wish we were right here, right now. Right. I wish we would.
Okay,
That's a good song.
That's fine. But paired with "The Lakes."
I don't even know that one. Is that from like Evermore?
Yeah, it's and it's like one of the little like bonus tracks.
Oh, it's a bonus track?
Yeah.
It's a bonus.
It's also I know that it's one of like her favorites. I mean, obviously she writes all of her songs, right?
They're
it's
all
like,
her children.
They're all her children. She loves them all.
And let me be clear, they're all good.
And people really like okay, so people really, really like "The Lakes," but it's kind of like, you know, Claudia's like really obsessed. Like her favorite song is "Peace," and like it just couldn't be me, you know?
I know.
But like, so some people, it just like, that's not our vibe. I love "Wish You Would," right?
Yeah.
But "The Lakes," glad someone else got it.
Yeah. But then, okay, so night 2 got "You All Over Me" with Maren.
Sorry.
I know the dog. I know the dog.
Okay.
Farted. So
Tooted.
if there's one thing about us is that
Maren.
we're Taylor girlies, but we're also Maren girlies.
It's
That's
also
like-
it seems like there should have been like an explosion with like that much power on the stage. Like that's
two strong,
Well,
like
and-
defiant female queens who just they say fuck you to the men of the music industry and they do whatever the fuck they want and they're so in tune with their fans. It's just a powerhouse.
Well, and what I really loved is because on the vault track on Fearless, you just hear Maren doing the harmonies.
Yeah.
Right. And at the show last night she was singing, like Taylor was doing.
You could
harmonies.
hear,
like Taylor was doing the.
Taylor
harmonies.
wanted to hear her sing it.
Taylor
You could tell.
wanted to hear her sing it, and
she killed it.
I
cried.
almost cried.
No, I cried.
Really,
I sobbed watching it. How do you not cry when you're
because
watching?
I was in the presence of somebody else, and I said, if I was alone right now, I would be sobbing.
It didn't stop you from crying when you saw that Taylor Swift liked your TikTok?
I couldn't help. That was
No,
But
that's
you're
like
in
a different
very like
level.
mixed company then.
But I wonder what it's like to hear Taylor Swift say, one of my favorite artists. I cannot wait to see what else you do in your career. That has to just like be so validating, almost more validating than any like Grammy you could win.
yeah.
It's just like the highest compliment because like genius sees genius.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift is a genius songwriter. So
Taylor
is
Swift
MAREN.
is the music industry,
Right.
She's the mastermind.
and she
Right.
is paying such a because the thing is, I think Maren Morris is one of the best songwriters, and we know that Taylor Swift is the best songwriter, right? And so it's like to have Taylor Swift just give Maren such a compliment, like
Oh my gosh. And like MAREN is just
she's fucking cute.
She's so fucking cute. Like,
And
she looks so good.
cool.
If I ever get to a point where I need a stylist, it's going to be Danny Michelle, who styles MAREN. She styles MAREN. She was styling, or she's still Kourtney Kardashian's stylist, but like when she was styling Kourtney in Kourtney's like Italy Eunice era, that was like, oh, my favorite Kourtney Kardashian look ever. She also styles Stassi Schroeder. Shout out to Vanderpump Rules. But okay, so night 2's second song was I Don't Want to Live Forever, which I love that song. You were like, that's lame, but
Well, it's like it's not as lame as The Lakes.
but like it's a song that is
Really popular.
It's really popular, and it like gets Taylor out into the world, like outside of her little like Swiftum.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's just I'm not as much of a lover of like the radio singles.
I know, and you know I love the radio singer. Like I would die if she sang, "Baby, this is what you came for."
I would die if
Lightning.
she sang that.
I love that song.
I heard her sing that live
When?
at Coda. When
At
I
Coda?
saw the Miss Taylor Allison Swift at Coda, she did that song.
I love that.
She had her short little hair too. And I said, and I was with my other Taylor friend.
I like Taylor's hair right now. I think this is like the best she's ever looked in years.
There's nothing about her that I would change. She
looks perfect.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
This
Gorgeous.
hairstyle was meant for her face.
Her skin tone,
Oh
her
my God.
makeup, her hair, the color of her hair,
Yeah.
everything is chef's
I know
kiss.
it's truly chef's kiss. And you know how you see those color theories on TikTok? They're like, I got my color theory done, and
Yeah.
it shows you what tones work with your skin tone. Whoever did that with her is perfect. Like her lover, like the little corset jumpsuity thing that she wears when she comes
Like a
out.
leotard?
Leotard. Yeah, that's the word. It is, those colors are
So good.
perfect for her face.
So good.
She's so good.
One last thing about Taylor Swift is and about this guy. I'm hungover. We've established that. He was dropping me off today, and I was like really feeling nauseous, and I said, "Can we play Taylor Swift?" And he was like,
Oh wait, he was dropping you off
"Yeah,
today?
yeah."
Interesting.
We didn't,
Okay, go on.
Anyways,
Go on.
and he was like, "Yeah." And the thing about Taylor Swift, I said, "This is one of my favorite songs. It's my hype me up song." And then I put in "Cruel Summer," and so I'm like hungover in the car, and I'm like, "Hey, looks up, grinning like a devil," and he's just looking at me. He was like, "Wow, I get it." I get it. And I was like, "You get it? You love Taylor Swift now?"
No, he probably just likes watching you get so pumped.
He kind of said that, and I was like,
like-
"That's what Jade." He was like, "I would love to watch you at a Taylor Swift concert," and I was like, "Yeah, my emotions were making Jade have all of
Yeah.
these emotions."
The last thing about Taylor Swift is Paige made me cry when she just repeated what Taylor said on the first night of Pride when she was like
what'd she say?
performing. Well, what'd she say, Paige?
She said,
Tell me what you said, Paige.
she said, she was saying a lot of things, and then she said, "Well, we can't talk about Pride without talking about pain," and about all of the pain in like the legislation. There's like laws trying to be passed right now, and just like the pain that all the LGBTQ plus community like has gone through basically their whole life, and whatever. It was just like, I don't even remember because I was just crying the whole time listening to it. And I was just like, she's such a fucking ally.
A supportive queen. It's funny that she went from being like, that's fine, I'll tell mine, you're gay. And now she's like, happy pride.
And everyone's like, all everyone wants is for her to put that line back in the song.
I know.
Like all the gays want that line back in the song.
Because now I feel like the gays are like, our queen.
Yeah.
And I saw this compilation of her singing that song.
You're gay, you're gay, you're gay.
It's so funny because it like truly, now I understand like why we can't have that, because like we as like a community that supports people, we get it, like we see it, but like I think it also could embolden some people to be hateful.
Yeah.
So that's why we can't have that song.
Yeah.
Well, right. And that's why she changed. And I think that it's good that it like shows like the evolution of like
it's
the
also
times
just like
too, where like she truly didn't think there was anything wrong with that.
and they're really
neither did
we
I
didn't either.
singing it. I was like,
it's like, don't mind if I say, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
give
don't
her
mind
stronger.
if I say no.
By the way, well, what else was she gonna fucking say?
I don't know.
She wrote that song around the line, and we all loved that line.
I know. We
because
still love it.
that was just the time where it's like, okay, I'm gonna tell all my friends you're gay.
Yeah. You're done.
Yeah, but now we kind of understand, like, you know, which kind of let's go in this way. Do you guys know Lunden and Olivia on TikTok?
No.
You have got
I don't know.
to follow these girls. They are the most aesthetically pleasing TikTok girlies ever. And it's her, Lunden and Olivia, they are getting married September 20th. I know, I've like gone down a rabbit hole with these two. And one of them has like dark hair. They're both so tiny, so tan, perfect skin, beautiful, the best hair you've ever seen. I think Olivia is the one that has like the Rachel Green like hair.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they have this like aesthetic that I am just so obsessed with.
Yeah.
It's not my personal style. I couldn't even like emulate that style if I tried, but I am obsessed with their style. It's like this like coastal chic, like but then they add a little edge to it. Like Lunden always wears like a trucker hat, and like they always have like the best jewelry. And like the internet is obsessed with them because they just had their bachelorette party. I feel like this is how a lot of influencers gain traction, like when they're getting married. But like it's like two women are getting married and two women have like the best style, and they're doing a joint bachelorette party.
I kind of think if it's just like the two like hottest people too, you know, like everyone wants to
100%.
see.
Yeah.
I want to see what their outfits
Yeah, but
are
like
going to be on their wedding day.
Usually with men, it's like, who cares? Men are kind of like boring. Like now we have like two women to look at.
Yeah.
Like, which I don't
so
know if
much
that's
better.
like objectifying it, but like I prefer, you know,
Yeah.
the girls are just like more fun to like see what they're wearing and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my newest TikTok obsession.
Love that.
And their bachelorette party is like literally goals, but like it could never be me. It's like not my style. It's actually the opposite of my style, but I am obsessed with it.
That's good.
And I think the whole TikTok is.
yeah.
The whole TikTok.
You guys have to like follow them more so you can like get in on the convos, because like it's a whole community that is obsessed with these two.
Yeah. I don't know how to work me any TikTok.
Okay, I can't. Anyways, you're like literally our Gen Z representation, but you're actually our boomer representation.
Yeah. Day one. Ever met me?
Okay, so one last thing I'll say is, wait, did you guys watch the new Kardashians?
No.
Okay, I've only watched the beginning of it, but Kourtney saying that Kim was jealous of her or more competitive with her is comical.
Well,
But maybe we should watch it and then we'll
Okay.
But let's like put a little stamp
in that.
Yeah, like you guys tell us what you think, and then
I just have to ask you, because
I stand Kourt.
you stan
I
Kourtney.
SK.
Like, is it annoying?
It's getting
Yeah.
there. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last thing before we get into listener stories, let me see where we're at with my new little thingy. Okay. Vanderpump Rules.
My new little thingy.
A timer.
Vanderpump Rules. We did not do a recap this week. Let us know what you guys think about that. We'll do a recap for the finale though, because
Yeah.
like we have to.
Well, because it's finally getting fucking juicy.
yeah. Okay, so we watched it separately. Overall, what were your guys' thoughts?
it's finally heating up.
Yeah.
It's finally heating up. This is what I needed. I was living for the lunch scene.
Oh my God, the lunch scene was like candy for your brain. You were just like, I can't get enough of that.
And Tom Sandoval's just such a fucking loser. Whenever he's like, hey, can you guys like stop following me with the camera? And the camera guy's like, if you want to talk, if you need some time, go eat your lunch.
Yeah.
We won't follow you. Just go eat your lunch. But you understand why we're here, right? Like if you want to talk to her,
you could have done all this before you got here.
And he's like, he said something along the lines of, the camera guy was like, yeah, so it sounds like you want to like get your story straight or something, or you want to like talk. And he's like, yeah. And it's like, no, dumbass. That's literally the whole fucking point of this.
I did like that the camera guy was like, okay, if you're going to be together, like you're going to have a camera, everyone else has cameras on them, and it'll cut to them just like eating, like just to prove that they still have the cameras on. It's like, obviously they're not going to air that. That's boring. We're going to air anything that you guys talk about because what the fuck are you going to talk about?
But it was interesting to see. So they showed the other group at lunch, and it was interesting to see Ariana like reacting to it because it was still so fresh. And I feel like now in most of the interviews we've seen of her, like she's a little bit more dialed back. Like she's really not talking a lot of shit about Raquel because Ariana is a respectful queen. She's like, I understand like the main focus of hatred should be on Tom. And like Raquel did betray me, but like Tom was supposed to be the most loyal to me. But now I like seeing that like anger at Raquel because I'm again so fucking angry at Raquel.
Yep. Yeah, and when she said something like, "Oh, Raquel isn't always going to be the like." Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like the
she
quiet,
said
like perfect.
She said, yeah, right now she's like the fun girl, but when she starts demanding girlfriend things of him, he will start getting annoyed of that,
just like he did with me.
Right, and that's 100% Ariana. But the difference between Tom and Ariana and then Tom and Raquel is that, and I don't know if I've said this on here, but when Tom and Ariana were in scenes together before, like when he was still with Kristen, I was like, okay, these two, you see the connection. You're almost like rooting for them.
They were like magnets that were trying to stay apart, but
right? But then you see him with Raquel, and you're just like,
you feel weird.
I feel so weird. It's like, okay, I've been waiting to see this dynamic, and you peek behind the curtain, and you're just like, no.
It feels. I don't know. I can't really describe what it's like. It's like someone's creepy older brother like getting with like your sister's friend. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like something icky.
Yeah, it's like it's when you hear of like a couple that you know dating, like your friend's older brother with like maybe one of your friends, and you're just like, there's no way, and then you find out, oh, there is actually a way, and they're dating, and then you see them together, and you're just like, what?
I also fucking loved the part towards the end whenever Sandoval starts getting like really, really stressed, and he calls Ariana motherfucker because she's like, oh, I'm gonna take a page out of your playbook, and if someone's saying something about you that's untrue, like don't let them finish their sentence. And he's like, no, I didn't say that. That's what you said. And she's like, no, okay, like whatever. And she keeps going. He's like, no, motherfucker. And then Lisa Vanderpump was like, did you just call her motherfucker? And I was like, he cannot keep his composure. And she knows that if she just keeps speaking sentences and not letting him talk, like, because he has this facade. He has this image that he's trying to like.
So sad.
I'm sad. I want everyone to be here for. And she's like, if I just keep talking, like the true him is going to come out, and he's not going to have a choice because his true colors are always going to show.
Right.
And they started showing.
I think this is like obvious to everyone, but it kind of like opened my little eyes a little more about how
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, what?
Chugging a Celsius?
About how he like
by the way, it's 6 p.m. and you just literally downed a Celsius. Good luck sleeping tonight.
About how he like wanted why didn't you just follow me? Ariana, you would have known what was happening if you just followed me. And it's like, because he's trying to set it up to where she's crazy. She doesn't feel safe, or he doesn't feel safe around her. Like, this is like, you know, just setting up like her storyline of like, she wouldn't let me leave, and then she started following me everywhere. The only place I felt safe was with Raquel. I was like, duh. Like, that is so obvious.
Wait,
now that
Ariana said that?
No, someone on TikTok said that.
No, I wanted to talk about this too. Is Coco, it's like Coco Makoko or something like that.
Coco mi Coco.
So I saw that too, and I was like, my mind is
It was like
blown.
such a slight like little tweak on it where she was just like, yeah, I haven't seen anyone say this. Like, are we all thinking it? And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you were following that, but
I'm trying to.
okay. So you remember when Tom was like, all she had to do was follow me. And then him and Raquel both said, yeah, she wasn't really pressing him anymore. But this TikTok user was like, I think that he wanted her to follow him because he wanted it to look like Ariana is crazy. Like, Ariana's following me. Ariana's like asking me so many questions. And then he like kind of drives her nuts. Then he has like a storyline there now. Like, Ariana was following me. The only place I felt safe was with Raquel.
Yeah, because that's what he did to Dodie.
Yeah, Dodie. I love that you're like so in the Vanderpump universe now. You call her Dodie.
Was it like saying Dodie?
But isn't that so interesting?
Yeah. He's just an idiot. Also, did you see the TikTok about the explaining the papers that Andy gave to Sheena about like
How there was no way that it could have been
like
dropped?
a different thing. It was like some kind of like
said pretend to read.
It was like some kind of like civil suit or something like that, which was different than this like restraining order or whatever.
Yeah. Was it with Sheena and the lawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys should try to find that. They were on Sheena's podcast. So she had her lawyer on there. And the lawyer was like, yeah, so when you file a temporary restraining order, so you have 30 days, I think it is, or like whatever, like the set amount of days. But during those days, you can't lift the restraining order no matter what. That's like set in place to protect you. Because think about like people who actually need temporary restraining orders. They'll be like, okay, like I just want to see like my abuser again and like whatever. So that's why they have that in place. And then you go to a judge and then the judge determines if that's going to turn into like a real restraining order or not. So her saying like, I didn't like giving this like paper, the lawyer was like, this paper had nothing to do with like lifting the restraining order.
The lawyer's like literally crumple it up and throw it away.
Yeah, because it's like it's bullshit. Like basically the paper I think was saying that they wouldn't file a civil suit against them.
So they're not intending to go forward with the restraining order, but it's not lifted.
Yeah, but like Sheena said, at this point they still could do a civil suit no matter what. Like that paper didn't say that wasn't going to happen.
For the theatrics.
Yeah, exactly.
It was really
trying to make Raquel look good. I bet that her PR team was like, okay, what can the lawyer do? And the lawyer was like, we could do this, but it's not really going to do anything.
Yeah.
And then they did it. And then the lawyer, they still had to go to court. Raquel didn't show up to the court date because she was staying at Tom Sandoval's house. And I think that the lawyer probably advised her, like, just there's no even reason for you to show up because like we're not going to pursue this anymore. So
it just, yeah,
it was a fucking clown show.
Well, and that's exactly what it was. I think they did because of the decision Raquel made to even file this restraining order in the first place.
Stupid.
It was so stupid. And her team really did not have a lot of moves. And they tried to do their best to be like, okay, this is going to surface level, like look the best for her, but it's not really going to do anything. And then she just looks like
it blew up in her face.
She just looks like such an idiot.
She should have just shut the fuck up.
Take it on the chin.
And literally take it
like
on
a
the
champ.
chin. Like, what is the point of filing a restraining order? Besides, I guess it was kind of smart for her because, like, at the reunion, she really only had to answer to, like, that last half. But in all other aspects, it really wasn't that smart.
Now Sheena really can countersue.
Yeah.
Like, for defamation and all, like, and she very much could win, especially because the lawyer was saying they have the clips of Raquel being like, this was a huge mistake that I filed this, like, whatever.
I regret it.
She's just,
I'm ashamed, like, all this stuff.
I don't think Sheena will countersue because she's like, I have a fucking child
it's
that I'm
not
trying
worth
to just go on with my life, but like, I kind of want her to.
So another thing that and I'm sure this blew your guys' mind too, but like, I was really emotional when Sheena was crying. And I am, even though we are all San Gabriel Valley girlies, and so is Sheena. We are from Glendora. Sheena's from Azusa, which our uncle lived in Azusa. And we spent a lot of time in Azusa growing up. Did. And people like to talk shit on that on the internet, by the way. And Azusa is not a bad place. So
I liked Azusa.
Yeah, it's great. And they have an excellent restaurant, Northwoods Inn. If you're ever there, get the cheese bread and the red cabbage salad. But anyways, our San Gabriel Valley queen, Sheena, is crying. And I'm not usually a Sheena apologist, but she had me in that monologue she gave.
Dude, fuck Tom. I was so
Fuck
fucking
Tom.
heated whenever, because she was not allowed to talk about anything. So Andy's like, tell us about the punch. And she's like, I can't talk about it until after the 29th. That's when we have this thing. And then he's like, anyone else? And Tom's sitting there and he's like acting like he's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, what good does it do you to like tell the quote unquote what you think is the truth at that point? And I knew as soon as Ariana got like snapped at him, she was like, well, she's not your fucking friend anymore. So like, get over it. I was like,
because Andy asked her, he was like, or Andy asked Tom, he's like, what's the going on right now? And he's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't want to ruin my relationship with Sheena, but I also want to tell this truth. And Ariana's like, you don't have a fucking relationship with Sheena. Reminder. And he's like, she said I punched that bitch in the face. And Sheena was like, I was on the phone with Ariana, not you. She didn't hear that. So shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And it's like, the thing about it, like, that was so fucking savage of Tom is like the reason, because when he said that, Sheena looked scared. She looked scared, and she's like, shut the fuck up, Tom, because this is now a legal battle.
Yeah, like, this is bigger than the show.
This is so much bigger than the show. You are a fucking liar, Camille. And what I don't need is for this to be aired and then to have all these other like questions of like, okay, well, now there's another person confirming that he heard this being said. Like, it was just like so below the low blows.
And it was like he's betraying another person on the cast, because Sheena has been so there for them. She could have fucking blown their shit up, because she was getting a lot of information from Lala. Mm-hmm. And they even showed that. She was like, I came to Ariana and I came to Raquel and I said, you know, Ariana, like, this is what people are saying. Ariana said, thanks, but like, I don't believe it. And then she went to Raquel and she's like, this is what people are saying. And like, if this is true, I cannot be your friend anymore. And I don't want you to do anything to compromise our friendship, basically. Yeah. And then she said, no, it's not true at all. Like,
and then Rachel's like, I feel like I should have written Sheena a handwritten note.
And that's what it's like. I'm watching Sheena cry. I'm crying.
And then you see Rachel, blink, blink.
And like, I don't know Sheena.
It's like, what are you, blink, blink?
Like, I've never met Sheena. Our only connection is San Gabriel Valley. And I'm crying. And Raquel, who has stayed in Sheena's house, she's been around Sheena and her family. She slept in bed with Sheena and Brock, which... let's get to that in a second. And Raquel's blink, blink. What should I have? Maybe I should have written her that note.
Now I'm feeling more regrets.
She's something else.
And then Andy, this was actually kind of new news to me. Andy's like, you said that you trusted Raquel in bed with your husband. And Sheena was like, yeah, I did. And I thought she was just meant that like metaphorically. Yeah. You're like, oh, a hypothetical.
You didn't
like,
know they had cuddle puddles.
I didn't know that they like actually slept.
That's
like,
what they called it, cuddle puddles.
In what world in your like late 30s do you have a friend sleep in bed with you and your husband when she has a perfectly good Las Vegas hotel room to go to?
You know, that's fucking weird.
In what world does Raquel want to sleep in somebody else's hotel room? Like in Vegas, like Vegas hotel rooms are my favorite thing in the world. It's dark, it's black, it's cold, and you just wake up and you can do your own shit in the bathroom, that whatever you need to do, and then you don't have to worry about anyone else. And she's like, I want to sleep with you guys.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to my room.
I just like, Raquel to me doesn't have a personality, and then I see little things like this and I'm like, what is her personality?
I wonder if she's on like beta blockers or something, like, because it seems like there's something that's like muting her, or there just isn't anything to mute.
I don't think there's a lot of personality there, and I cannot relate because I've been trying to like
you have an abundance of personality.
Like my whole life I'm like you know,
rein it in.
Yeah, reel in your personality. And Raquel's like, I wish I had one, and
I wish I could make a toast.
And she's looking at her in other people for her own personality. It's so bizarre to me. Yeah. So I'm really, really excited for next week.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole reunion.
Paige, we have a big day on Wednesday because we have to watch The Ultimatum and also Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, big day.
It's a really big day. Last thing, did you see that people think that Sandoval told Schwartz to do the pill thing?
Yeah.
Because he was like, green light, green light. And I was like, that was a weird thing. And then Schwartz was like, oh, I'm going to get my pills. Shaky, shaky.
Oh, who wants a Xanax? Let me make this as obvious as possible.
That was like a weird little bit that I thought he was doing.
There's something fishy there because the green light thing. And then he kept saying, tell everyone that this is your medication.
Just say it's your medication. You don't have to explain anything to them.
That was really fucking weird.
Yeah. And then did you see when Sandoval went outside and he's like, I'm blowing this.
Yeah.
Which was like, I think he didn't mean for that to be on camera.
I agree.
Obviously.
He's like, I'm blowing this because
I thought I could
manipulate everyone. Yeah, I want to know what he said, what he meant by green light, because then he did do the Xanax thing.
But it's almost like, there a literal green light that went on when it's like, okay, like since we have to coordinate Raquel not being 100 yards within Sheena, if they were like, okay.
No, it was almost like it was some kind of like diversion, like
that's what it seems like.
Look at me for some, and I don't understand.
But why would he say that to Schwartz?
He would be so serious enough to be like, okay, when I say green light, you grab your.
Did you see the TikTok about? I fucking love TikTok, and I love everyone's theories. Did you see that girl who was like, whatever the secret is, it involves Schwartz?
I don't agree.
Well, everything that she was saying, I was like, shit, like that kind of tracks, but it's like, I don't think the only thing that would be big enough is if Schwartz was so upset by whatever lie Tom did that it like broke their friendship, and I don't think their friendship could ever be broken.
Well, and it's already been like revealed that Schwartz knew and that they were going on their little double date trips and stuff. So it's like, what else could there be?
I really don't think the revelation is going to be that intense.
I don't think there's anything that could stand up to the affair.
The only thing I think it could be like they've been just lying about this for so much longer than we even know. Like maybe they hooked up at Coachella.
Yeah, people think that
or Richella.
That would be
that
even
would
crazier.
be
Some people think
fucking
that
crazy.
Like, they both agreed to end the relationships, and Raquel did, and Sandoval didn't.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like, what are these two people capable of?
Okay, but how fucking awkward was that when Rachel's like, well, it looks like from what they're saying in there that like things were good with you guys and you were like having an intimate relationship, and he was like, I mean, you know, Ariana, like it was just like,
and he was like giving Rachel like a recap, and she's like, yeah, I've been watching everything, and he's like saying like, oh, it's not going so good in there, and trying to like almost like spin things a little, and she's like, yeah, I've been watching, like I see what is going on.
Okay, the weirdest part about that whole thing was that he was like, yeah, like usually Ariana's like dogging on me, and then she started saying like, I don't know, Tom, you know fashion, you can pick this out, and like if that was supposed to like, as if that was supposed to help his case. So yeah, my girlfriend, she started like being nice to me, so I started fucking her again. Sorry, mistress.
Yeah. It was really weird.
It's weird. Like our couples therapy started working. She started listening to my needs and started like, you know, working on our relationship. So we started like having sex again and being super intimate. But like he was like blaming her for that. He was like blaming Ariana for being like receptive to
it was
therapy.
really weird.
It was so weird. And then she's like, they're trying to make us look like we're pathological liars. But the only thing we lied about is this whole fucking 7 month
affair,
which basically had like webs to lie about every other fucking thing in my life. Like, yeah, you are a pathological liar.
And she's like, but we know we're not.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
know
like,
we're not.
Bitch, you guys both think you're not because you're both pathological
and
liars.
they have to remind each other that too.
No, but she said it in a way that was like, he coached her on saying that like we're not pathological liars, like the way she was like, we know we're not.
She says, I remember the line.
That was her being like,
you told me this before.
Yeah, like I'm being led by my like Raquel 1,000,000% could end up in a cult.
Yeah,
like
she's like perfect fodder.
She's the perfect candidate for a cult
so
or an MLM. So like if you are in Arbonne, you guys need to reach out to Raquel because I'm sure she needs a job right now and she probably would love a white Mercedes. So you guys should reach out to her.
Yeah, anyways, cannot wait for this week.
Yeah, okay. We need to move on to, because we've been talking about this forever.
I know. Okay.
This is why we need a recap episode.
No.
Yeah.
Go figure. Okay.
Go figure.
Go figure.
All right, this is an advice one.
Okay.
Hey, sisters.
Hi.
I love the pod, and I am a day one sister. I don't have any sisters of my own, and I'm really lacking in the judgment-free female friendship department, which is where you ladies come in. That's exactly where we want to be.
Yeah.
My husband and I have been married for almost a year, and we've been together for 7 years. Congratulations. Mazel. When we first started dating, I was fresh out of a relationship and wasn't expecting anything serious, but 7 years and a name change later, here we are.
Aw.
My husband is a genuinely kind person and overall treats me well. However, recently I've been doing a deep dive reflection on myself and relationships, and I'm feeling like there's something missing in my marriage, leaving me wanting more. We used to prioritize going on dates. That stopped over a year ago. He used to bring me silly things that he thought of me at the store. I can't remember the last time that happened. He comes home from work, we eat dinner, sit on the couch, and he dives into his phone while I find trash TV to entertain me. Vanderpump Rules, I hope. The sparks no longer fly, and connection we once had is completely gone. We even sleep back to back with a foot in between us at this point. I feel like we've turned into roommates. I've expressed multiple times that I'm feeling neglected and overall bored in our relationship, to which he puts on a temporary fix that slowly fades back into the cycle, and I'm getting tired of it. Even when I try to initiate dates or ways to shake things up, it always seems like a chore. I've been hyper aware of other couples that have been together for longer than us, that you can truly feel their love and connection when you're around them, and I'm realizing we do not give off the same energy. I need some sister advice on what to do. I love this man, but I want more for myself and want a marriage that leaves me crazy about my husband, even at 80 years old. At 28, I'm doubting that it's in the cards for us, but I'm completely lost of where to go from here or if this relationship is salvageable. Help, your poor neglected sister.
Okay, first of all, I think that this is totally normal. It's easy to get into these slumps where you're just like, okay, well, we come home, we watch Vanderpump Rules together, you're on your phone, whatever. So I think you do need to like actively work on the relationship. But I think one easy way to like get you both on the same page is like going to therapy, because you're going to be talking to him saying like, without therapy, you're saying, this is what I need, this is what I need. And it's like, okay, well, like it's falling on deaf ears. But there's something different about when somebody who is a third party, who doesn't know you guys, who just hears both of your guys' side and then helps you, it hits different, in the words of Taylor Allison Swift.
Yeah, because I also think that you could very much think that you're telling him exactly what you need because it makes sense to you, but maybe, like you're saying, he's not hearing it the right way. He needs to hear it differently, and a third party, especially a therapist, is going to be able to figure out how you need to hear things and how he needs to hear things, and so they can help guide those conversations. Like when you're saying, I need X, Y, and Z, he might not be
He can't hear X, Y, Z.
Yeah, and so then the therapist can kind of guide, say, when she says this, it means this, and he might have that light bulb.
Yeah.
moment.
And to remind that, like, it sounds like you've been pretty, like, consistent of your, like, expectations and, like, things that you want, where it's like, I'm not changing. Like, this is what I have been wanting and, like, how we were before. So, like, those haven't changed. So, like, if you can't fulfill those things anymore, then we need to reassess. But, like, the expectations haven't changed. Like, you, husband, have, like, been probably lazy.
Well, I mean, but what is he thinking about her too? You know, like,
Yeah.
so that therapist, that third party, could help you guys see the gaps that you're not able to. There's probably a gap in communication that you're not able to fill on your own, that you need a therapist. And then from there, you need to like figure out, like, is this something I want to be in? Like, is this, because the great relationships that I've seen in my life have evolved. Like, I have, like, all my best friends met their husbands when they were in college, and I've seen them like college party days to 20-year-old, like right out of college,
figuring out
who
they are.
no money, figuring out who they are, to like getting married, to like, are we gonna have kids or not having kids? Like, so you have to be able to like grow through those, and it's not always gonna be easy, but you have to have somebody that's willing to hear you out and work on it with you.
Yeah.
Like even our own parents,
That's
like
what
I feel
I was
like
gonna say.
they've gone through so many, like our mom back in the 90s, it wasn't like it is today, where I feel like there's this vibe today where you put your relationship first and then the kids, like, that's the foundation. Back in the 90s, I feel like mom was room mom, the president of this, the president of that, cheer mom, like all the fucking things. And I'm sure that like made their relationship suffer. So like when we all left the house, it was like, oh, it's just us again. Like,
yeah. And they
had to actively work on it.
And basically like learn about each other again.
And now it's crazy because mom and dad,
they're obsessed with each other.
I've never seen them more obsessed with each other in my life.
Cute. It's like cutely sickening.
I know, it's like so sickening. And then dad will like do these like little outbursts, and like with me and him, like when I was living, he'd be like, he would have an outburst, I'd have an outburst, and mom would just be like so calm. She's like, well, he just needs to do this and then we'll be able to talk calmly about it. But then he also can see her little like things that she has too, and like, but back in the day that it was not like that.
Back in the day it's like they didn't really understand how to argue well together.
And there's so many other things to distract them from those arguments where it's like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go do the dishes, or I have to get the food on the table for the kids.
But now mom and dad, you see them, they know exactly how to communicate. They've grown through all these seasons of their life, which was not easy at all. Like having a marriage that long is like not. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we boring you talking about our parents' 30+ year marriage?
And think about the kind of person you are when you're. Jesus, Paige.
I like inhaled my hair.
Because so if you're 28, you've been in this relationship for 7 years. You met when you're 21. You guys are going through a growing pain, and
which is how old mom and dad were when mom was 21 when they met.
So you guys need to like really, really work on it and decide like, okay, is this something that we think that we can grow together with or not grow together with? But
and I think you can.
I think you can
also
too.
Like it's totally up to you. We don't know you like personally, so if you really do think that it's going to be better for you and your partner to, you know, for this relationship to come to an end, that's like also a thing that you can do for yourself.
But try therapy.
You know? And you know what's funny is, so I don't know if I told this story on the podcast. I think I did, but I saw this like listener in the wild, and I was with Mr. Roberts, and Mr. Roberts went to the bathroom. The girl was like, hey, come here. They're like, this girl needs to like get a divorce. She needs to leave her family, or leave her family, leave her husband.
She's so bad in her children.
And I was like, okay, even though I am a divorcee, I'm not like a divorce advocate. I think I'm an advocate for like getting out of a very bad situation if you need to, but like, also,
and if it's gonna be better for both parties, like that is an okay, and that's not a failure. That's a way to find success and happiness,
right? But like, I'm also for working on your marriage, and I don't think that like just because like you don't feel the sparks now, I don't think that like you can't like reignite the spark.
Absolutely.
That was good. I think that was good.
Hell
Wrap
yeah!
It up with a little bow.
Good luck, and send us a follow up.
Send us a follow up.
Do we want another one? I feel like this has been kind of long.
Yeah. Maybe just one more. It's an hour.
Uno más.
Por favor.
Okay, I'll read one more. Twist my arm, guys. Also, stop me if you've heard this one before, because it was already started. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Again, can't say how much I love the podcast. I had totally tucked the story in a part of my brain that I never wanted to relive, but since the talk of weddings, I thought, hey, why not tell the world? My boyfriend and I were friends with a kid in our hometown who had recently gotten engaged. Over their long engagement, anytime we would see that friend, he would always talk about how wedding planning was going and how he couldn't wait for us to be there on his special day. And we saw him around a lot. So when he texted my boyfriend asking for our address, we assumed it would be for the save the date. Through mutual friends, we found out the invites had already gone out, so when a couple months passed, my boyfriend decided to take it upon himself and text said friend asking to see if he got the address right. He responded with saying, oh, sorry, man, we didn't have enough invites for everyone, but I was going to text you the details this week. What? Red flag number 1.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, we didn't have enough physical invites to send everyone, so I was going to text you the details to the wedding this week.
Okay, so AKA, you're on my B list.
Yes. If that. Okay. The weeks leading up to the wedding, our friend kept texting my boyfriend saying how happy he was that my boyfriend was going to be there and giving us loads of info about the wedding planning. Big day comes, and I'm already nervous about this because my boyfriend has not received any practical info like dress code, when the reception starts, where to park. Red flag number 2, obviously. We get to the wedding, drop the card off in the box, give a quick hello to the groom before he walks down the aisle, and then sat with our group of friends. After the ceremony, we make our way over to the seating chart, and our names are nowhere to be found. Come to find out, we were never even invited to the wedding. The groom had mixed up my boyfriend's name and his contacts with one of his other friends. Keep in mind, we are seeing tons of hometown friends we haven't seen, and this was a backyard wedding. Yes, I went behind a tree and had a panic attack and called my mom. And yes, I ran to my car and peeled out of that driveway so fast. A couple months later, we ran into that friend, and he had assured us that we were invited and our names were on the seating chart.
No, dude, you have no idea who these people are.
I went back to their wedding album on Facebook and zoomed in on every effing name card, and note we were not invited. Still to this day, one of the most embarrassing things to ever happen to me. Lesson learned, never have a man relay information for any event to you.
Okay, I did a video on this, about this on TikTok, of like going to a wedding with a guy, like the guy being the guest.
It's so fucking stressful.
It's so stressful because you're like, can you please just ask them?
What do I wear? A dress?
A dress? They said it's formal. What does that mean?
Yeah, tell me the exact words that were written on that invitation.
No, this is so fucking...
Is it boho chic or is it cocktail? I need to know.
I cannot imagine getting to a wedding, and she already had the intuition. She knew what was right because women are not wrong.
It is not your fault. I would also be fucking mortified, but it is not your fucking fault.
Especially this like weirdo groom gaslighting them. Like, why not just say, dude, I meant to invite you, James, but I accidentally invited James Potter.
But if you do that, then you need to invite both Jameses.
Or I bet he didn't want to tell the bride that he messed up and didn't want.
I know.
Because he was like, hopefully there's an extra seat at the backyard wedding. That would have a very definitive number of seats.
This is total men vibes, is that they would be like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to tell my wife or my future wife, she's going to freak the fuck out. But there will be, I'm sure there are going to be extra seats.
I'm sure. And it's like,
hey,
where the fuck do you think they're going to
folding chair?
But it's all their friends from their hometown. So imagine how embarrassing that is when you get to the fucking thing to find your seat and your name's not on there. And then now you have to like look everyone in the eye and be like, our name isn't on there. We have to leave. And then you know the things that are running through your head are like, everyone thinks that we're crazy. We showed up to this wedding. Like, I cannot.
For this groom to be like, no, you guys were totally invited. I don't know what you're talking about.
A typical man gaslighting.
Yeah.
He was gaslighting his own friend.
It's just, the thing is like, so the boyfriend, it's not even really his fault either, because he's having these text message conversations where this groom is saying, yep, you guys are invited, we just didn't have enough physical invitations, but here's the details. Yada yada yada.
Weird.
That's so weird. I think the only thing is like, maybe this boyfriend could have asked better questions instead of just like, can we come, or like, are we coming or not? It's just like, he could have asked a little more like detailed questions, but it's the groom is fucking unhinged.
It's the groom's fault, but like if I was the girlfriend, I would be like, can you ask him, does the bride know that we're coming? Because that's exactly. Like the number one question you need to ask. Does the bride know we're coming?
And I think that she learned, because she was like, never let men figure out the details of anything, because
this is a hard
clearly she didn't know the bride well enough to be like, hey, just want to confirm that like everything's cool, because it's the boyfriend's friend, you know.
Can you imagine? I would, if that.
I'd be so.
No, if that was you.
No, this feels like something that would.
Sweaty right now.
This feels like something that would happen to me. And first of all, even though it wouldn't be my boyfriend's fault, I would never talk to my boyfriend again, because I would be so mortified.
No, your boyfriend would have a hard life because he'd have a new asshole that
he would have a new asshole, and I would be. The phone call that I would FaceTime you and be like, I'm at this fucking wedding that I wasn't even invited to.
Oh, 100%.
Hey, Mom, can you come pick me up?
It would be so mortified. Like, how could you not go behind a tree and have a panic attack?
It's like so sad that it is so embarrassing, because it's not her fault. It's more her boyfriend's fault, and it's the groom's fault, and it's like, it is embarrassing and it sucks, because there's nothing she could have done.
Yeah, but you better believe that if it were me, I'm grabbing my boyfriend's phone, I'm taking those receipts and I'm showing the bride.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to make this a problem on your wedding day, but your groom did this. Sorry, where do I sit? And we would like the chicken dish, thank you.
And it's like, no, I'm gonna leave, hold on, I'm gonna let you finish, but like, I need you to know that I'm not fucking crazy. Look at these text messages, this is why we're here. So sorry, see you never. Like,
yeah, I think you could let a bridesmaid know that. Just be like, hey, I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I would send them the receipts and then be like, please tell her tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That is
It's so
truly,
funny.
that's a good one to end on because that's like honestly mortifying.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That was a good one. I want to hear some more drama. We're still waiting on, people aren't responding to the school submissions. We're getting a lot of wedding stuff.
keep it going with the wedding.
I think anything that you want, if it's a good story, we're open to it.
Yeah, we're always open to like advice. We're open to your mortifying stories,
Drama.
especially shit like this. If a man has ever done something like this about a wedding,
Yeah, tell us the time your boyfriend
fucked up the
choreographed.
plans.
yeah, tell us the time you were a guest at a wedding and you had to rely on a man who was the actual invited guest to give you the information and they fucked up the information.
Yeah.
I had girls on my TikTok telling me, yeah, like I didn't know that it was a black tie wedding until we were on the way there. He told me it was a casual wedding.
Well, this is why we all remember Smacky. So I worked with her husband and we were having our company's, I think it was our Christmas party or something, our holiday party. And I sent him pictures of my outfit. And I said, you need show your girlfriend exactly what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
This is the exact vibe of what you're supposed to wear. And she was like, you are a fucking real one for that. Because you don't know, because he was never going to know
He
the
can't
right question.
describe-
Yeah, he's like, oh, she's wearing a dress.
Yeah.
And it's like, what kind? And men just need help. They just need help.
They need help. All right. Well, make sure to share this episode with everyone you know.
Yep. And make sure when you do write into us, you're doing that at yourpoordad@gmail.com. And leave us a 5-star review, please, because we love that. Honestly, even a 3-star is fine if you're saying that Jade's unbearable, but whatever.
Yeah, if you have like any constructive criticism for Paige or Bailey, you can totally do that.
You could also email that to us and still leave us 5 stars.
Totally.
And make sure you follow us, Your Poor Dad Pod. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.